Hi, I'm Marilyn San Clemente of Stamp with Marilyn, and welcome to my creative playground. Tonight I'm going to show you the beautiful Aurora Lights suite and hopefully make a couple of things with it. I've made a couple things already, but hopefully make something else. And it's an interesting suite, so as you'll see in a minute. But let me get set up. The Aurora Lights set. The paper is gorgeous. There are six 6x6 sheets that are printed pictures of the Aurora Borealis. And these are gorgeous, 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 gorgeous sheets. And then there is this stamp set that has this really nice combination of sentiments. Your strength inspires me. May your day be filled with love. Wishing you a year of light. Embrace the wonder. Thank you. You are magic. And then, so you can go on and on and on. So today in my stamp club, we made this card using this Aurora Lights. I don't know why I can't say that word. Because I grew up in East Aurora, New York. So anyway, and there's not that many Auroras around. So this is a card that we made that pulls out, and I did case this from Mary Dethridge. So thank you, Mary. And I used this set of paper. So it was this piece, and went across, and then left this section for notes. So and then I used a circle of vellum to kind of look like the moon at the beginning. And then I put the Embrace the Wonder on that. And I used a lot of the trees and things. But there's a lot more to this set than just the trees and things. So let me show you some of these pieces. And I did some playing with this today. So I always like to make a cheat sheet with these things. And so there's a lot of pieces to this. Okay, so there's this set of trees that are very large. So you can use those for up close. There is this, which cuts out these little pieces that you can use for snow or glaciers, glaciers on mountains, that kind of thing. And it also cuts out the edge of the mountain as well. This one actually cuts the mountain edge. I'll show you that here. So that cuts your mountain, your mountain background. And then what I did was I cut and pasted things here. There's 3 clouds. There's this other set of smaller trees. So those look like trees that are in the distance. And none of these cut out the bottom. They only cut out through here so that you can make this part as thick as you want. So what I did was I cut this mountain, added these caps of snow to it, added the clouds, and then the small trees, so that shows a distance. And then I added this piece of blue, and there's this piece here. So when you cut the blue, there's this piece that looks like water, or that looks like an edge of a pond or a lake or water. And I use that, but you can't see that because the trees are here. And then I put the big trees down here. And then there is also, so that's this piece that cuts the water. And then this cuts snowbanks. So you can make snowbanks. You can put a snowbank up here too. So there is a lot that goes into this set. And I think that, there's a lot that you can do with this set. And I've just started playing with it. So we'll see what else I can come up with. But in the meantime, so this makes the snowdrifts. This does the water. I don't know why I'm putting these back on here because I know I'm just going to take them off in a few minutes again. Okay, this cuts the mountain. Oops. That cuts out the little snow piles for the mountain. And then this is the big, move that. These are the big trees. Okay, so also with this suite, we've got the paper, we have these gorgeous gems, and we have ribbon. And where's the ribbon? Here's the ribbon. Really, really gorgeous. This is gorgeous ribbon. In fact, I need to get more because I'm almost out. I'm at the bottom, at the end of my roll. So anyway, okay, so let's get started with this. So my thought was to do a card and have this as the background, the Aurora Borealis. And I really like this color. So I was thinking that a really good color for that would be Blackberry Bliss. Isn't that pretty? I think that looks great. And then I was going to have that on top of it, so it looks like different mountains. And then I was going to do this, but I don't want to lose all this, so I'm wondering if I should make it a larger card instead. Or maybe I take this row of mountains off and just use this. Okay, so I did do a card base. I did a white card base. I probably will change it, but just to get, oh wow, I cut that small. Okay. So, well, that gives me some good perspective there. Okay, so I would do this. Okay, and then we would need to fill that in because I think, you want that to look like the back of a mountain. And so I'm wondering if I took this dark gray. Okay, so I would do that. Yeah. Okay, so let's do that first because then that's going to look like rocks. So I'm just going to put a piece here. And then I'll figure out what color I want to do the background. I don't want to use the white. The white's too stark and acclimated to where I put everything. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of seal around here. Whoops. My seals, yeah. So I'm going to put that there. I'll cut this. Don't want to see that. Okay, and then let's put this here. Okay, and I'm going to cut off a chunk there. Okay, and so let's put that there. So like I said, I'm just learning to play with this, or, sometimes when we get new sets, if they've got some complex dies that kind of work together, it takes time for us to figure things out, especially me. I'm getting old. Okay, get rid of that glue in there. You probably can't see that, but I'm just going to use that as the base for now, even though we're not going to use that base. But what I want to do is kind of okay. So then I would put some trees on here and then maybe put something at the beginning of the lake as well. Something else comes up. Okay, so I'm going to cut this in half at 5.5. We're going to score this at 4.25, and that's just our standard card base. Okay. And now, there we go. Put that there. Oops. Put this here. Okay, I think that's good. I can get rid of that. That is such a pretty paper. Okay, so I'm going to put this here, and what I want to do is make this all the same size. So this is the size, this is the width that I want. So that's 5 1/4 here. And, whoops, uh-oh. This is going to be short over here. Oh, maybe what we do. Okay, I know what we do. Okay. Put this together like a puzzle. So what I did was I used the water, the in color Summer Splash, that's it. And so it looks like water. And maybe what I do is I move this over a little bit here. Okay, so I want that on the edge there, and that's on the edge. All right, there we go. We've got it. Okay, so I'm going to hold that in place. I am going to add some glue to this. Use seal. Okay. And it's okay if a little bit hangs over because we're going to trim that part down. Okay, and now I'm going to add some to this. Put this on here. Okay, and then, so we've got two types of trees. We've got these smaller trees and then these larger ones. So this is a set of larger trees that I had cut. And I think that's just going to completely take out our whole. There's no end to this die. So if you want to make this forest this thick, you can, or you can make it thin. This part is the only part that cuts. So you get two sections of trees, and then that is cut there. Look like this. Oops. Okay. Gently pull it out. Okay, and we have a little bit of poking to do. Anyway, okay. So I'm going to do that. Hey, Tony, how are you? Okay. So that's going to go on there. I will use my seal. Long time no see. You need to go out and get some dinner. Go eat. I know you get home from work late, so go eat. Okay, there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I've got this. This is my trick for making sure that everything is the same size. Ah, okay, and it's sticking to me. And trim that part there. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to, so this piece cuts piles of snow on things. So I'm just going to cut a couple of these. Actually, I can go across like that. And then I can add some snow to the mountains to make it realistic. Okay, so these are the little pieces that you get. Here's another one. There's 2, you get 4. 3, there's a little tiny one there. And so when you cut, this looks like this. Oops, did I do it backwards? I did it backwards. Yeah, it goes like that. It cuts like that. So it just cuts out these little pieces that could be snow. Today was stamp club, so yeah, we ended about 4:30, and So then I had to chillax for a few minutes. Okay, so I'm going to put that up here. This one fits here very well. Oh, I needed to come down more. Okay. So we'll put another line of trees. Now what I'm going to do is I want to cut this and I'm going to piece these. So we're going to okay. Okay. Yep, that's perfect. Okay. Except that it's not straight, but I'll figure that. We'll get that going there. Okay, now I want to take this. Okay. So I have my snowdrift, and I need a long piece of white. Is this wide enough? Barely. Okay. Okay, that would look good. I think that, oop. My seals are stuck to each other. Okay. There we go. Do that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just glue this whole thing. Down. There we go. Okay. Now, if I had a pen, I would kind of draw a little bit. I would add some detail to the water. Oh, actually, I do have a pen. Ha! Look at this. And I even have that pen. So I'm just going to add a little to make it look like ripples. Okay. And then I'm not sure where I would put a message on this. Okay. So there is one card. And I want to try another one. I have to figure out which things I want to use here. Okay. I don't think. Oh, this would be a good one. Yeah, I want to use that. Okay. And this one I'm going to use, I already have a mountain here. So I was going to put that, okay, let's cut this to the right width. I was going to put some snow up here. I can do this. I could do that because that's the mountain, and then I can go down like that. Yeah, that will work. Ta-da! That would work. There we go. There we go. Snow. Yay! All right. Okay. There we go. So we're going to put that on there. That's really pretty. Okay, so for this one, we're going to do something a little bit different. A piece of pool party. And so I want to put a lake down here. Okay, so let me cut. This up. There we go. Okay. So the one thing that I did with this card that I forgot to mention is here's the water. Okay, so then what I did is I cut the bottom of the mountain using the water thing, but going the other way so that it fits together like a puzzle piece. So, you know, I think that looks really cool. So actually I could do that again. Okay, so there's the mountain. Okay, so I want to put the mountain probably about right there. Oops. Trying not to cut too much off. Okay, so now we can put the water like this, and then we can put trees here. Like, and actually these might look good. So these are cut out of peacock. Okay, so let's have the water go this way. Is this 4 inches? It is, okay. Okay. So if we put these up here. Like that. So we've got one line of trees here with the snowy peaks in the background. We'll put a little bit of water here, and then we'll put this. That's going to take up the whole thing, isn't it? Okay, let me cut this down a little bit. These trees are huge. Okay, so then I would put this here. Because this is just more of the mountain part. I wish there were like rocks that went with this. Okay, so then this would go over the top. Wow, that's going to hide a lot of stuff. put those under there. Okay. Cut off this, make that a clean end. Okay, I'm going to put, oh, I didn't put these on, did I? Yeah, I did put them on. Okay. I'm going to put that on like that. And I will put this like this. Oh, yeah, got it. Move that over. Okay. Got that. That will work. Okay, and then this is going to come in like this. Wow, that is one crazy forest, isn't it? Actually, let me glue the water first. Okay, it's going to go like that. Okay, this will go like this. Okay, there we go. A little bit more glue back there. Okay, now I'm going to glue it to this, to our background. Oops. That's the good part about glue. You can kind of wiggle it around until you get it where you want it. Okay. And now, okay, because that I can line up. Nope. No, doesn't like all the too many layers for it. Okay, that works. Okay, this. Wow, it's a lot of layers. Okay, got it. Now let's see if I can straighten this bottom out. And where did my bone folder go? Bone folder, where are you? Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is going to go on here. Wow, that's not straight. So when it's not straight, you can take it, meet the edges, hold it like that, and then kind of force it to refold. There we go. That's better. Okay, so this is going to go on here. It feels funny because the cardstock is super thick and I've got like 3 layers of it. And the designer paper is not so thick. So the top is thin and the bottom is thick. Feels off balance. So, okay, so again, I'm going to take my pen and just kind of add a little bit to the water. And it looks like it's moving a little bit. There we go. Now, what would be really cool is if we had a tiny little skier coming down the slope, right? Thank you for stopping by tonight and watching this with me. I hope this helped you figure out how to use this set, because I know at the very beginning I was confused too. So sometimes you just have to play with it for a while and see what happens. So, okay. Thank you so much. If you're not on my mailing list, go out to stampwithmarilyn.com and you can sign up for my mailing list. Thanks again, and have a great rest of the week. Take care.